Hello, Hugh. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. I'm so excited.
We're here to get in the Wanda Van. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. What the f*** is up, Wanda?
Welcome to the podcast.
I'm so excited. You know that this is my first time in the van?
Ever?
I've never been in the Wanda van. I've always wondered. It's been like this wonderful spot in my mind that I've just been able to dream about. It's kind of like, I imagine it like it's kind of like this tiny little house like Harry Potter or something. You go in and then it's just like a labyrinth. And I'm not disappointed.
How does it smell?
It smells really good.
That's all I care about, honestly.
I know this smell. I've smelled it before.
A lot of people say that the van smells like crayons.
It's like the smell of when a crayon fell into the vent, you know? Did you ever lay on the floor as a kid and like smell the vents? I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
That is some very specific. There is somebody on Reddit who knows how you feel, Hugh.
No, listen here. Listen, chat. Jump into the comments right now and anybody...
Smash that like button!
Smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe, follow. I want to see everybody in the comments right now commenting their favorite color crayon.
So Hugh, tell me, what have you been doing? Where have you been? I haven't seen you in 6 months.
I know, it's crazy. I've been a little bit all over the place, but for the last 6 months, California, a city called Redding. And I lived there before for a little while, and I'm back there now. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, very homesick.
Yeah?
I'm very happy to be here right now.
What do you love about Redding?
You see something in California, like a mountain, and you can just go hike to the top of it pretty much.
Really?
Yeah. I just think that's so cool. I have so much fun being outdoors there. Because you can drive an hour, be in the snow, drive like a couple hours, be at the coast.
Wow.
Yeah.
The variety.
It's pretty magical when it comes to outdoor experiences. It's kind of... Yo!
That's okay, just pop her back up there.
Made the catch?
This is an action camera, so it actually can take a beating and go underwater and shit.
Is that what we're going to do today?
We can do whatever you want. I don't know. I'm just driving right now. We're just going. Do you have anywhere you need to go?
I'm like, actually, can we hit up Costco really quick? I used to have to go for this job that I was working for, and they just gave me the hardest time when I was checking out because I had like the company card.
Yes.
And they're like, you're not a member here. And I'm just like, this is my job, friend. Hey, what? I used to work for them as well.
The landscaping company?
The landscaping company.
What is the musician to landscaping pipeline? Because I also have worked in landscaping. You've done landscaping. Yeah. What is it about landscaping that musicians like?
I think it's easy to pick up and just, it's like easy to get into and easy to leave, kind of. I mean, it's not glamorous work, but it's like I could just go work there for a little while, and it's usually more flexible with like a musician's schedule.
I love that musicians kind of have to, like, if we're gonna do another job that's not music, it has to be, in our eyes, very low commitment.
It's so true. Man, it has been there, and it has offered a flexible schedule. And that's been really helpful.
Let me say a little bit about Hugh. When I first met Hugh, it was at a coffee shop, which is very on brand for us. We're always at coffee shops, it seems. You were talking about wanting to do music. That was 5 years ago at this point.
That's crazy.
And now you're doing the damn thing. So tell us about like what it was like to go from zero to where you are now.
So at that point, I was doing a project with a friend of mine that I had met in California. So like right around that time, I had just moved back to Huntsville, and we were working on a side project that we still have called the Bunderhorse. And I was having a lot of fun doing that, but I was feeling like we shared that project 50-50. And there was like this songwriting part of me that was just like, I want to write so much more. Like I want to be able to write something and just let that be it and put it out. Like, that's what I want to do. And that was kind of like the fire that I was starting to like develop when we were having those conversations of like, what would it look like if I actually just started doing music like on my own. Even solo artists are not doing music by themselves. There's always people involved, whether it's like just the friends rooting you on, or like producers or other musicians working on stuff. And so yeah, that was around the time that I like started sifting through kind of like a folder of songs that I had and was getting ready to release my first song.
Okay, something that I love about your music project, I'm calling it, even though it's just you, Hugh Lindsey, first of all, is how personal it is, because it is your story and it's unapologetically like, this is my life. When I listen to your music, I feel like I am witnessing you healing. I can feel you going into the darkest depths of your pain and telling people about it.
Yeah.
And what do you think about that?
I mean, you're speaking to my heart right now. I feel that way just about music in general, that it's like, that's one of the reasons that I've stayed, wanted to be a musician. But like with my song specifically, it was kind of like that too. I was like writing a lot of stuff because I needed it. I was like, if I don't write this, like, I have to write this. It didn't even feel like it was an option, you know?
Right.
So I'm like writing this stuff and recording it onto voice memos, and then I would listen back to them. And I just started being like, these really helped me heal, and they still help me heal. Listening back, I'm learning new things listening to them.
Yes.
And it just felt like, it felt wrong to hold on to those, to think about holding on to those forever without sharing them. Because I was like, man, what if this also could do for someone else what someone else's music has done for me? Does that make sense?
Yes, so true.
And so I was like, I have to figure out a way to just like put these out. Even if I look back on them in like a couple of years and cringe at them, you know, at what I was writing or saying, it's like, I don't really care, because it just needs to be out there. Since I moved to California, I've had a lot of time to focus on music. I've kind of just been like hunkered away working on new songs, and I don't know, kind of being isolated, but for the sake of creativity, I guess, in a way. But with that isolation has also just come like a lot of these questions of like, are these songs good? Is this going to be successful? Like a lot of insecurity comes up. Like there's times where I just like believe in myself more than I ever have, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever written in my entire life.
Yes.
And then like the next day I'm just like, no one's going to listen to this song. But the point to that was like, this isolation has kind of brought this question up to me of like, what is success to me? Is it growing like the number of people who listen to my music?
Yeah.
Or is it, again, kind of coming back to that original idea that I had, which was just like, I need to share these because it could allow somebody else the opportunity to also like heal with me, you know?
Yeah.
And like to start a conversation. And when I start thinking like that, like numbers don't matter to me anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like, it doesn't matter whether it's one person or, I know people say this kind of thing a lot, but it's so helpful for me to get out of the idea of numbers and to just think that like, this is successful already because I'm just doing it. I am putting out music, and I have had people come up to me and say like, this song meant something to me.
Yes.
And it's like, that's it. That's the whole reason I wanted to start putting out music, and the reason that I will continue to put out music, whether it looks successful from the outside or not, you know?
So I gotta ask, like, just out of pure curiosity, how much mental gymnastics did it take to get to there? And I ask that because you were viral on TikTok.
Yeah, for a minute.
So to be a person who doesn't care about numbers now, but who has gone viral, I feel like they're related. What do you think?
Still am like consistently having to work myself down from like this persistent need to have increase in numbers, right?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I know.
I think it's crazy.
I know.
I'm like, going viral is like a scam. It's so fucking weird. I just like, it felt like it was organic at the time. I think it was organic. It was this random, just one-off thing, right? It was like the lottery thing. Because I had already posted that song several times.
Yeah.
And nothing, dude. I had like 47 followers. and like my stuff was getting like less than 100 views, and then it was like, boom, 500,000 views, 150,000 likes, and my followers just like went to like 17,000 or something like that. And Wanda, I like basically quit my job after that because I was like, this is my moment. But the thing is like I had never surfed. I just like was somehow rolling in this wave that was carrying me, and then it crashed, and then you're like, what do I do now? What do I do with this? And it leaves you with a lot of these questions of like, what is success for me? Because if it is these numbers that I'm seeing on social media that aren't like equaling, for the most part, isn't equaling human interaction, then like that's unsustainable for me. Like I can't do that. I hate staring at my phone waiting for the next thing to go off, you know?
But I feel like you needed that.
Oh, 100%.
To get to where you are.
Definitely. Yeah.
To give you that push.
It was a boost. Not only was it like a boost of confidence, and has continued to be, right? Like just even now I think back on that and I was like, wow, that was cool. I did that. I was never going to put that song out. Like it was just another one of the songs that I was writing, and I wasn't planning on releasing it at all. I saw that it was like going viral and was like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe I should like put this out. I don't know. You can go viral but not be prepared and know what to do with it. I literally had no foundation for like music or anything at that point because I was just getting started, and so it was like a really cool thing to happen, but then also I was just like, what do I do next? And it like kind of led into me being really stressed to like put out the next thing because I needed to stay viral, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, I want to make sure that it's clear that I'm like really happy that happened.
Yes,
and not bitter about it at all, but like have learned a lot from that because it leaves you with like all of these questions.
Yes.
And like there's not people there most of the time to answer them.
No.
So you have to figure it, like you either have to find people to help you answer those questions or you have to answer them for yourself, you know?
You've got to learn through life lessons if you don't have like the mentorship too.
I hate making mistakes, but yeah.
So you just released another version of Wait For Me If You Will. He released the TikTok original audio of the song.
Well, I want to say one thing about the TikTok version and mistakes.
Sure.
That felt so scary to put out for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. There's this part of me that really wants to just be like raw and like put out raw stuff, and it can have mistakes and be messed up, and I try to practice that, right? I think in almost every song I've ever released, there's been something that I leave in there knowingly that I consider to be a mistake.
Yeah.
But this idea of putting out like my iPhone audio was so scary to me because I thought that like Spotify or like Apple was gonna be like, no, and then just like tank everything that I put out after that. But I have just went for it, and it's great because I started like testing it on TikTok again, just asking people if they wanted me to put it out, and they were like, yeah. And I was like, you know what? This is all that really matters.
Your audience wants it.
If my audience wants it, then I should put it out. I think it's cool. They think it's cool.
It is.
And so I'm just going to release the TikTok audio, you know?
I love that.
And I've had people since that first one went viral talking about how like nothing, like nothing hits like the original audio that you had on TikTok. But yeah, also I am working on an album.
Okay.
Which does not have a release date yet. I'm still kind of tying up the last little bits of it. But I had the privilege of getting to record with
cool.
Logan Bowden.
Yes. Local legend.
It's kind of like this dream that one day I would get to maybe like do something with him.
Yeah.
And so I had the opportunity to do that, and it's so special. I'm so excited. It definitely is way less sad than all the music that I've put out, but still like meets this like Enneagram 4 part of me that's introspective and reminiscent about childhood. Kind of gets into topics of spirituality and being raised in the South, and I'm really excited to share them all.
Incredible. Well, Hugh, we all look forward to hearing your next album. If you guys haven't already heard Young Divorce, his first Hugh Lindsey full-length album,
And
go listen to it.
My only divorce.
And hopefully his only divorce. Go smash that follow button on TikTok. He's also got Instagram, YouTube. His music videos are incredible. Go watch them.
Shout out to Daniel Cunningham.
I will link those in the description. And Hugh, you've been lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Hugh.